Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking a deeply emotional journey, unpacking the invisible emotional tightropes we walk with the people we care about the most. For anyone who has ever felt that sudden, sharp pang of vulnerability when communication just breaks down, well, this one is absolutely for you. We're going to unpack a short, profound story about a playful prank gone wrong and the beautiful, paradigm-shifting realization that came right out of it. So let's step away from the theories for a bit and really dive right into the feeling of it all.
Okay, let's dive into this. Are mind games ruining romance? I mean, it's a heavy question, isn't it? If you spend any time at all navigating modern relationship dynamics, you know exactly how utterly exhausting the unwritten rules can be. Waiting an hour to text back so you don't seem too eager, watching those three little typing bubbles disappear and reappear, man, it's just a lot. There's this unspoken tension, a super fine line between harmless flirtatious teasing and actual relationship sabotage. We kind of convince ourselves that playing hard to get keeps the spark alive. But what happens when that desire to be unpredictable starts messing with someone's actual sense of safety? Keep that knot of tension in mind as we meet the people in our story. Meet our protagonist. She's this vibrant girl who just thrives on the electric energy of a witty comeback. She absolutely loves spending time with her boyfriend, and their entire dynamic is built on this wonderfully light, amusing atmosphere. You know the type. She's always joking around, teasing him, constantly keeping him on his toes. Just think about that feeling for a second. The adrenaline rush, the absolute joy of shared humor, the butterflies of a dynamic where you're both just volleying that energy back and forth. It feels incredibly good, right? But then, the playfulness pushes right into risky territory. She decides to pull a prank. And the prank is simply this. She decides to completely ignore his messages. She reads the text, locks her screen, and just leaves the phone face down on the table. In an instant, the emotional temperature of the whole situation completely drops. We move away from the laughter and the witty banter and step into the brewing anxiety of intentional distance. She pulls away, just to test the waters, really just to see how he'll react to the sudden absence of her attention. Let's move to and see how this builds, because what follows is just silence. I want you to imagine the agonizing weight of that silent tension. The hours literally just ticking by. Now, for the person pulling the prank, sure, there's this nervous, superficial thrill. But think about the person on the other end. That silence, it isn't a joke to them. It is so heavy. It's that awful, sinking confusion that curdles into a knot in your stomach when the person you love most suddenly goes completely dark on you. The shared joy has instantly morphed into a one-sided manipulation. Put yourself in his shoes for a second. How would you react to being purposely ignored by the person you spend all your time with? If we're being completely honest with ourselves, most of us would feel that immediate, hot flush of frustration. You'd feel the bruised ego for sure. Defensive walls would instantly shoot up, and honestly, you might even decide to play the game right back. You know the instinct. Oh, if you're going to ignore me? Fine, I'll ignore you. It is so incredibly easy for this kind of manufactured distance to trigger a massive, toxic downward spiral.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the brilliant juxtaposition here. Because you expect anger, you expect the walls to go up, or a passive-aggressive text at the very least. But that is absolutely not what happens. His reaction completely shatters that expectation. He doesn't get angry. He doesn't fire back with coldness. Instead, he simply shows up at her front door, and he's holding flowers. He meets her intentional, manufactured silence with a completely disarming, overwhelming display of genuine care. When he hands her the flowers, he just looks right at her and says, "I just want to make sure you're okay." Take a breath and really feel the profound vulnerability in those simple words. There is absolutely zero ego in that sentence. No pride getting in the way, no desire to win some silent standoff. His only concern was her safety. He bypassed the game entirely and cut straight to the deeply human core of what actually matters. Unconditional, raw, heartfelt care for the person right in front of him. Hearing those words triggers something really profound for her. It's almost like an internal dawn breaking. She looks at the flowers, she hears the genuine worry in his voice, and the entire illusion of the game just totally shatters. In an instant, she moves from the cheap, superficial thrill of playing a prank to the incredibly secure, grounded sensation of being truly seen and cared for. She realizes right then and there that the artificial drama of mind games is entirely hollow compared to the quiet, steadfast power of someone genuinely looking out for your heart. She realized in that exact moment what true love actually is. It's a bond built on genuine, mutual care and well-being, completely devoid of manipulation or testing limits. And you know, the beautiful thing is, this didn't mean she had to fundamentally change who she was. From that day on, she still joked around, she kept her vibrant, witty spark, but she learned a vital, unbreakable boundary. She would never play with his feelings again. She discovered that you can totally have a deeply passionate, dynamic relationship without ever weaponizing your affection.
So the crucial point is that dropping the games didn't make things boring, it actually made them bulletproof. By removing those anxiety-inducing tests, they made room for a deeply secure connection. And just think about the sheer relief of that. When you no longer have to constantly decode your partner's silence or worry if their mood is some kind of punishment, you free up so much emotional energy. Instead of burning that energy on anxiety, you get to pour it into actually building something incredibly beautiful and lasting together.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how real love naturally grows when we strip away the games and embrace these 3 pillars. Step 1 is trust, that deep in your bones feeling that your partner has your back and giving them the exact same safety in return. Step 2 is respect, valuing their emotional state so much that you would literally never intentionally cause them a moment of panic just for your own amusement. And step 3 is communication, the immense comfort of speaking openly, replacing the weapon of silence with the solid, unbreakable bridge of honesty.
When we step back and really look at this dynamic, we see exactly what real love requires in daily practice. It means trusting deeply in your shared emotional safety. It means respecting feelings, realizing that your partner's heart is definitely not a playground for your own ego. It means communicating openly, actively choosing the deep comfort of clarity over the exhausting anxiety of the what-ifs. Ultimately, you're simply trading the hollow temporary thrill of playing games for the enduring, unshakable feeling of a truly honest connection.
So I want you to reflect on your own habits for a moment. When you interact with the people you care about most, what are you actually making them feel? Are your actions, your jokes, and your silences building a fortress of trust? Or are you, even totally unintentionally, just playing games? The most profound connections we can ever experience require us to drop the act, drop the tests, and simply show up with genuine, heartfelt honesty. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this story gives you something deeply powerful to feel and reflect on in your own life.